Hey there, my friend. Welcome to a Wednesday in the Word with Gail. And so if we have not met yet, my name is Gail Ramish, and I am going to dive in with you today to Philippians 4:13. Now, I was most familiar with Philippians 4:13 from the King James Version back in the day. I can do all things through Christ who strengthened me. And that verse used to give me like this power to go, I could do anything, whatever it is, God's going to give me the strength. And I think there's truth there. I think there is truth there. But that's one of those things that we used to call in seminary cherry picking, where you just take a verse and you take it off the tree, take it out of context, and you make it to mean what you want it to mean. I can do all things, whatever it is. I can conquer the world through Christ who gives me strength. Is that true? Well, can God give you the strength to do anything? God could do that. But does God want you to do whatever it is that's on your heart? That's a different story. But what I want to do real quick is take a look at it in context. And I want to look at it at the NIV version. So the NIV version says, I can do all this through him who gives me strength. I can do all this, not all things, but all this. And so Paul is talking to the Christian church in Philippi, and he's saying to them, I can do all this. Well, the question is, what is all this, Paul? When you say I can do all this, what does all this mean? So we're going to read it in the context of this verse. We're going to back up a little bit to verse 11 and listen to it in context. He says, I am not saying this because I am in need. And Paul says, for I have learned to be content whatever the circumstances. So Paul's going to go on this little verbal rampage about what does it mean to be content. So he says, I've learned to be content in whatever the circumstances. I know what it is to be in need. I know what it is to have plenty. I have learned the secret of being content in any and every situation, whether well-fed or hungry, whether living in plenty or in want. I can do all this through him who gives me strength. Oh, so when he says I can do all this, he says I can be content in whatever the circumstances, whatever the situation, content, resting in the Lord and trusting that what he's up to. And Paul knew. He knew what it meant to have everything he wanted or to not have anything. He knew that. He said, I've been well fed, I've been hungry, I've had plenty, I've been in want. He says, whatever the gamut is, I've been there. But I have learned to be content. And where does that contentment lie? We'll come back to verse 13. I can do all this. I can be content through him who gives me strength. All this contentment, whatever the situation is, we're going to find in Christ, because God's empowering presence is going to be the key to every corner of our life, whatever that is. Wherever you are at, are you needing contentment? Are you in a situation where you go, well, I'm well fed, Gail, but yet you might go, you know what, I'm really hungry. Or maybe you go, I've got plenty. Or maybe you go, man, there are some desperate needs that I have. Paul says, whatever those situations, whatever it is, in anything, in everything, learn to be content in the Lord, and he's going to give you strength to walk through whatever he puts for you. My friends, God is not going to lead you to something that he's not going to walk with you through. Grab his hand, take a breath, be content, because God's going to give you the strength to walk through whatever it is. And I say that as someone who is getting ready to walk through a major surgery with somebody I love dearly. And God is saying, it's going to be okay, Gail, because I'm going to walk with you and you can find contentment in me. So whatever your situation, I hope you are finding contentment in the Lord today. Grab his hand, walk with him, and if we can be praying with you, pray for you, shoot us a little comment below, and we would love to pray for you.